What if I told you that the moment you walk onto a car dealership lot, you are already losing money? Not maybe losing money, not probably losing money. You are statistically guaranteed to lose money unless you know exactly what game they are playing. Car dealerships make billions of dollars every single year, not from selling cars, but from selling you fear, confusion, and fake urgency. They have entire training manuals dedicated to squeezing every extra dollar out of your wallet, and most buyers never even notice it happening. This is Ron, and on this channel, we break down the money moves that big companies do not want you to understand. Today, we are exposing exactly how car dealerships rip you off, from the moment you step onto the lot to the moment you drive away thinking you got a great deal, when really, you just got played. If you want more videos like this, one that actually protects your wallet, hit that like button right now and subscribe so you never miss a video that could save you thousands of dollars. Let us get into it. Let us start with the very first trick, and it happens before you even sit down at a desk. It is called the greeting and the walk. The moment a salesperson greets you, they are trained to ask one specific question. What is it going to take to get you into this car today? This question sounds friendly, but it is designed to do one thing. It is designed to find out how emotionally attached you already are to that car. If you answer with excitement, if you say things like, "I love this color," or "This is exactly what I've been looking for," you have just told them everything they need to know. You have told them you are not walking away. And once they know you are not walking away, the real negotiation is over before it even started, because now they control the deal, not you. Next, let us talk about the 4-square worksheet. This is one of the oldest, dirtiest tricks in the car sales playbook. It is a piece of paper divided into 4 boxes. 1 box for the price of the car, 1 box for your trade-in value, 1 box for your down payment, and 1 box for your monthly payment. Sounds simple, right? Wrong. This worksheet is specifically designed to confuse you by making you focus on only one number, usually the monthly payment, while they quietly manipulate the other 3 numbers behind the scenes. They can lower your monthly payment while raising the price of the car. They can lowball your trade-in while pretending to give you a special discount somewhere else. By the time you leave, you feel like you won, when in reality, they simply moved money from one box to another, and you paid more overall. Now let us talk about the most powerful phrase in the entire dealership, and that phrase is, "Let me go talk to my manager." This is theater. This is a performance. In most cases, that salesperson already knows the exact number they can offer you. But by walking away and pretending to fight for you with an invisible manager, they are doing 2 things. First, they are building false trust, making you think they are on your side. Second, they are wasting your time, because the longer you sit in that dealership, the more emotionally invested you become and the less likely you are to walk away, even if the deal is bad. Let us move into the financing office, because this is where the real damage happens. This is often called the box, and it is where dealerships make some of their biggest profits, sometimes more than they make on the actual car itself. Here's how it works. Dealerships often mark up your interest rate. Let us say you qualify for a 5% interest rate through the bank. The dealership can quietly bump that rate up to 7%, or even higher, and pocket the difference as pure profit. You think you are getting financing help. In reality, you are being sold an inflated interest rate, and unless you already know your real rate ahead of time, you have no way of knowing you got overcharged. This leads us to one of the most important rules in car buying, and I want you to remember this one clearly. Always get pre-approved for a car loan before you ever step onto a dealership lot. When you walk in already knowing your real interest rate from your bank or credit union, the dealership loses one of its biggest weapons. You are no longer trusting their numbers. You are comparing their numbers to a number you already know is fair. Now let us talk about add-ons, because this is where dealerships get incredibly creative. In the finance office, you will often be offered things like extended warranties, paint protection packages, fabric protection, VIN etching, nitrogen-filled tires, and gap insurance. Some of these products can be useful in very specific situations. But here is the truth. Dealerships mark these products up massively, sometimes 3, 4, or even 10 times their actual cost. A paint protection package that might cost the dealership $50 can be sold to you for $800 or even $1,000. And it is often presented so quickly, wrapped into your monthly payment that you do not even realize you agreed to pay for it. This brings us to one of the sneakiest tactics of all, called payment packing. Because most buyers focus on their monthly payment instead of the total price of the car, dealerships will quietly stack extra products and fees into that monthly number. Since a few extra dollars a month does not feel like much, buyers agree without questioning it. But when you stretch that payment across 60 or 72 months, those small extra dollars can add up to thousands of dollars in pure, unnecessary profit for the dealership. Now, let us talk about trade-ins, because this is another area where dealerships take full advantage of buyers. When you tell a dealership you have a trade-in, they will often offer you a lower value than what your car is actually worth. Why? Because most people do not research their car's real market value beforehand. They trust the dealership's number simply because it is presented confidently. Meanwhile, the dealership plans to resell your trade-in for a solid profit, sometimes thousands of dollars more than what they gave you. The solution here is simple. Always check your car's trade-in value using independent tools before you ever mention that you have a trade-in. Get that number in your head first, so you can recognize a lowball offer the moment you hear it. Let us also talk about leasing, because this is a completely different battlefield with its own set of tricks. When you lease a car, two of the most important numbers are the money factor and the residual value. The money factor is essentially the interest rate on your lease, but here is the catch. It is not shown to you as a simple percentage. Instead, it is shown as a small decimal number, something like 0.00125. Because this number looks confusing, many buyers never bother to convert it into a real interest rate, and dealerships can quietly mark it up, just like they do with loan interest rates, and pocket the extra profit. The residual value is the second key number, and this represents what the dealership believes the car will be worth at the end of your lease. If a dealership manipulates this number in their favor, they can make your monthly lease payment look artificially low, while setting you up to pay more if you decide to buy the car at the end of the lease term, or making sure the numbers always benefit them, no matter which direction you choose. Now, let us talk about dealer fees, because this is where things get almost comical. You will often see fees labeled as documentation fees, dealer preparation fees, or market adjustment fees. Some of these fees are legitimate and required by law in certain states, but many of them are simply invented profit categories, fees that have no real cost behind them, created purely because dealerships know most buyers will not question a fee that sounds official. Always ask for an itemized breakdown of every single fee before signing anything. If a dealership refuses to explain a fee clearly, that is a major red flag. There is also a tactic called yo-yo financing, and this one is particularly dangerous. This happens when a dealership lets you drive home in a car, telling you that your financing is already approved, only to call you back days later saying the deal fell through, and that you now need to sign a new contract with a higher interest rate or a higher monthly payment. Many buyers, especially those who have already told friends and family about their new car, feel pressured and embarrassed, so they simply agree to the new terms instead of pushing back. If this ever happens to you, know that in many cases, you have more legal protection than the dealership wants you to believe, and you should always read your contract carefully before assuming financing is guaranteed. So, how do you protect yourself from all of this? First, always separate your negotiations into three completely separate conversations: the price of the car, the value of your trade-in, and your financing rate. Never let a dealership combine these into one confusing number. Second, always get pre-approved financing from your own bank or credit union before you negotiate. Third, research your trade-in value independently before mentioning you have a trade-in at all. Fourth, focus on the total price of the vehicle, not the monthly payment, because monthly payments can be stretched and manipulated to hide the true cost. And finally, never feel rushed. Dealerships use time pressure and emotional excitement as tools against you. The moment you feel rushed, that is exactly the moment you should slow down. Here is the truth about car dealerships. They are not evil, and salespeople are not your enemy, but they are trained, incentivized, and financially rewarded for getting as much money out of you as possible while making you feel like you got a great deal in the process. The only real defense you have is knowledge. When you understand how the Foursquare works, when you know your real interest rate before you walk in, when you research your trade-in value ahead of time, and when you separate every part of the negotiation, you take the power out of their hands and put it back into yours. Buying a car does not have to feel like a battle, but you do need to walk in prepared because dealerships are prepared for you. The next time you are ready to buy, lease, or finance a vehicle, remember everything we covered today and do not let confusion or excitement cost you thousands of dollars. If this video helped you understand how the game is really played, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown. This is Ron, and I will see you in the next one.